Welcome back to the channel, fellow rock lovers. Check this out. Look at this big pile of agate rocks I have here. Let's start another rock tumbling video. That's right. Let's get all of these tumbled and polished. So what's the story behind these rocks? My wife Kendra found all of these out in West Texas while we were rock hounding at the Coconut 06 Ranch near Alpine. Some of these have actually been cut, either in our Rock Off series videos or just by Kendra herself to see what's on the inside. But most of these are just as she found them, walking around out there in that high desert area. Now, most of these are agates, as you can see, and it's been my experience that these will tumble beautifully. Look at this one with the banding in it. That should be nice. So what I'm going to do is get these things in the coarse grit and get them rolling. Now, Kendra does not like her rocks perfectly smooth, like I like mine. So these won't be a bunch of little gemstones, little flawlessly tumbled gemstones. Instead, they will have some little spalls and cracks and other imperfections. A rock like this would never get smooth. Look how jaggedy this one is. But I'm going to get them smooth enough so that they take a nice polish. And that looks like a beautiful piece of jasper right there. Look at that. Oh, there's no telling what we're going to find. Ooh, look at those colors in this one. Wow. It's been my experience that when we do these rock tumbling videos with these West Texas rocks, we always end up with some stunners and a few duds. What will this group look like? Let's find out. Let me go ahead and get all of these in the coarse grit. I'll probably have to use a 6-pound barrel. I'll get them rolling for a few weeks. Once they're smooth, I'll bring all these back in here and I'll show you what they look like before moving on to the polishing stages. It's taken a couple of weeks, but Kendra's rocks are finally ready to move on to the polishing stages. And remember, she doesn't like these things flawlessly tumbled, but I had to keep them in long enough to make them really smooth enough to take on a good polish. And I think I have with these. We're going to have some beauties in here. I should warn you, if you like good-looking rocks, you're going to love how these turn out, I think, because when I saw all of these wet with their colors, this one's going to have 4 or 5 colors. They were just stunning. And I believe they should all take a really good polish. So what you see here in the next few moments should be a bunch of very beautiful rocks. We'll see. I've been wrong before. Look at some of these though. Imagine that one's shiny. See those tiny dendritic features right there? Oh yes. This will look awesome once we get it polished. Oh yeah, imagine that, shiny with all those colors in there. I'm telling you, we're gonna have some good ones. Let me go ahead and get these in the vibratory tumbler now. I'll spend about 12 days, go through 4 different grits. Once I'm finished with that final 14,000 grit aluminum oxide polish, I'll bring all these back in here and I'll show you what they look like. As you can see, Kendra's rocks are all polished. Did they turn out as nice as I said they would? I'll let you be the judge of that. Let's take a look at some of the nicer ones. Let's begin with this one. This is an agate that took a really nice shine, and what I like about this are these little, right there, you can see them, the little tiny inclusions there, itty bitty dots. Of course, you've got your quartz and your slight banding within your chalcedony there. Banding that's made up of little tiny dots. I think we're off to a good start. What do you think of this small one here? I know it's hard to see, but as I turn it over, you see that in there? Isn't that beautiful? The dark edge that's bubbly looking. You see that? I find that just beautiful. This rock, even though it's very dark, took a heck of a shine and has just a beautiful pattern in it. I really like this one. It has a great pattern, as you can see. Fine banding in there. You've got your quartz, which has been beaten down from the tumbling. But if you look inside there, there's some stuff going on. You see that down in there? I hope you can see that. And it has a great shape. It looks like, well, sort of an apostrophe, I guess, or maybe a J. Yeah, we'll call this the letter agate. This one is very unusual. Why? Because it's just plain old chert, and honestly, I haven't been finding much chert out there in West Texas. I'm surprised Kendra picked this piece up. It's just not that common. We find lots of this around here in Central Texas, the Austin area where we live. But for the West Texas area, this is kind of unique. This, on the other hand, is much more common out there in West Texas, where you've got your banding, sure, and your quartz. Pretty stuff. I know. The tumble is not great. There's still lots of flaws. But that's the way Kendra likes them, so we'll have no more discussion about that. Check out this pretty green rock right here. That's interesting, but this side is even better. Look at this. Wow, that is pretty up there. A green moss. Sure, you can see it there. It's got that stringy mossiness with that gray chalcedony. Ooh, this is maybe my favorite so far. This batch features several colorful rocks. Check this one out. It's small, but it certainly has a lot of color. Ooh, look at that. Isn't that pretty? That red moss. I like it. Yeah, this is maybe my new favorite. This one's pretty wild here. Notice it has the tiny bubbles. I don't know if you can, yeah, I think you can see those in there, right? But that's not why I picked this one up to show you. It's because of this side here. Isn't that pretty? You got the banding in there and the quartz. If we turn it around, oh, now we've got the Joker smiling at us. Kendra really did pick up some great rocks. And even though they're not tumbled as flawlessly as I'd like them, it doesn't matter because these rocks out in West Texas can be so beautiful when you tumble them, and you never know what you're gonna find. Look at that, we have waterline banding in this one. There's some color up here, maybe a purplish color. You see that along with the orangish color? Wow. Yeah, this was just some broken piece of a much bigger agate. I like the color transition on this one. I'm not sure color transition is the right expression, but you see on the right side it's very dark, and then on the left side it's much more translucent. But check it out, it's got a big hole in it. Nearly a candy corn agate, you know, the ones that have the 3 different distinct areas, but not quite. We just have the 2. This appears to be a small, colorful piece of, I'm going to say jasper. Took a very nice shine, and it has a wonderful pattern on it. It's not translucent, so I'm not going to call it an agate, but whatever it is, it's pretty. This small agate has lots of detail in it. When I zoom in like this, you can really start to see it underneath the surface, right? But as we turn it around, look at this side here with these little wispy clouds. You see those? Oh, that is really neat. Yeah, there you can just see the top of the clouds. Some sort of banding there, right? It's time for another one of these colorful rocks that Kendra picked up. Check this one out. Not only does it have great color, check out the pattern in this thing. That is awesome. And the mossiness right there. And then we have, ooh, that is really something. Those little channels of chalcedony in there. You got the mossiness, yeah. The greens, the reds, the oranges. Oh my. I think I have a new favorite. This little piece has some really nice light blue color in it. Watch as I turn it this way. Yes, can you see that? That banded area in there? Oh, sure. That is a really pretty light blue piece of agate. For all of my quartz fans out there, I offer you this one here. Had lots of quartz in it, and most of it was beaten down by the tumbling. But what I like about this one is the chalcedony area over here. Yeah, over here. I just think that's really pretty. Even with all that nasty quartz. This little guy has a lot to offer. First of all, you can see there's plenty of chalcedony in there, but also mossiness over here. You see that? And, oh, look at the bumps. We got the bumps there. The beautiful bumps of chalcedony, along with, what is that, maybe host rock there? I don't know. Not a great tumble, but who cares? Look at all of the amazing detail in this one. Are you ready for another mossy agate? Look at this one here as I turn it over. This is the money shot here. Oh yeah. I like that a lot. And these are very common out there. You need to get out there to West Texas and do some rock hunting. You'll find lots of rocks that look like this one. Well, what do you think of this little banded beauty here? Watch as I turn it over here. There you go. Some banding, a little quartz on top. Not too bad, right? And here's another one with the tiniest of inclusions. Look at these up here. I sure like that. When I see tiny, tiny details submerged in the chalcedony like that. Yep. Good looking rock and a pretty good shine to boot. Now this one has some interesting banding. Not so much on this side, but watch as I turn it over here. There you go. There, you can see when I rotate this just right. Yeah, you see it's perfectly clear there. And it gets sort of out of focus. Isn't that interesting? Clear, fuzzy, clear. I don't understand that effect. I'm gonna have to do some studying on this rock. The very next rock I picked up has a similar look to it. Let me show you the banding. Where is it? Oh, here we go. There's the banding. Does it do the same thing? Not really. Ooh, that's kind of pretty. It's sharp banding. It just doesn't do the same stuff that other rock did. Still cool though. These darker, more coarsely tumbled ones can be really interesting once you get them shined up. Now you can see, if you look closely, there is some stuff in there. You see the dark chalcedony there and there. Over on this side, you can really see it. I like that. Even though it's not a flawless tumble, I think the contrast looks really good. Oftentimes, these small ones can really be beautiful. Look at this one here. It's very small, but don't you love that pattern in there? It's sort of like an eyeball, I guess, maybe a little bit. Yeah, the rest of the rock is interesting, but this is the view here. This little beauty is similar to that last one. When you look at it closely, well, you've got what appears to be host rock, but watch as I turn it and we get to this side. You see all the depth in there, right? And those little cloudy formations. Yeah, there's something going on inside this one, right? Too bad it's so small. This one would be a fun one to get cut into. I've shown you several rocks that have the dark inclusions. This one appears to have red inclusions. Look at that. That's all red in there. I like that. It's different. Check out this little beauty. I call it the banded broken shark tooth agate. It's difficult to hold on to. I have probably attempted to film this. Well, this is my 5th time. I keep dropping it. So I'm trying to hold it very carefully here. Let me see if I can do this without dropping it. Oh, okay. So isn't it beautiful? It looks like a broken shark tooth. It's just very difficult to hold on to with these gloves. It's time for some more fun inclusions. Look at this one here. There, you see the black sort of forms a band. Right there it looks like a band, but as you rotate it, you can see that along that plane, that fracture plane, those little black things just form, whatever they are. Some sort of impurity in there, I guess. Makes the rock extra special, I think. You might think from this side of the rock, it's just so-so. It's nothing special, although it is cool looking. Wait until you see this side here. Let's see, can we get this bright enough and clear enough for you to see? I hope you're making this out because it is a beautiful rock. Oh, look at that right there. Ooh, hang on, there we go, right there. Tell me that's not the prettiest rock you've seen all day. You really can't tell it from this side, but it turns out this is a beautiful agate on this side. Look at that. It's like a little seam agate, maybe. Isn't that pretty? And here's the other. Let's call this the bottom, this the top, and this the money shot. And I told you this batch includes several of these colorful rocks. This one, it's got a great shade of a, I don't know what it's sort of a reddish color, but with a little bit of a purple to it. You see that? Wow, that is stunning. Look at that there. I wish I had tumbled this one a little bit longer to smooth it out, get rid of that big spall right there. Because this could be the best of the batch, but unfortunately it's not quite. Okay, we're getting near the end. Look at this beauty here. I like this one a lot. It took a nice tumble, and I just really enjoy this pattern on here. You see all those little orbs on there? It has that beautiful bluish color. Yeah, I was watching this throughout the process thinking this is going to be one special tumbled rock, and I think it is. If you like mossy agates, you're going to like this one. Check it out. What do you think? This is the view here, though. This is the shot right here. Looks like a painting, doesn't it? Just love these moss agates from West Texas. Okay, it's time for one more of these seam agates. That let's call the top. This, the money shot, is the side. Yeah. Oh, that's pretty. And we'll call this the bottom. Check it out. It's got little bubbles in there. You see those? I didn't notice that until just now. Turns out this is a really cool rock. Just 4 more to go. This one is very nice. I was debating on whether or not this one could be the best of the batch because look at the banding there. That's really nice. Got more of it there. Very attractive rock. Almost best of the batch, but not quite. Our bronze medal goes to this one here. We looked at this one earlier on before the polishing stage, and if you remember, I said, check out those inclusions. I said, don't you think those are going to look really good once they get shined up? Well, there they are, and I think they look awesome. Like tiny lightning bolts or plants or whatever your imagination wants them to be. And otherwise, it's just a cool agate with some banding, some quartz, yeah. It's got a fun shape to it there. Yeah, so this is the 3rd place rock. The silver medal goes to this colorful beauty here. This one is amazing. Count the colors you see in this rock. The distinct colors. There must be 5, easily 5 different colors in this thing. And you just don't find that very often there in West Texas. But you see the greens and sort of the yellows, the reds, the purples, the orange. Yeah. This, my friends, is a good-looking rock. It's time to award the gold medal, the best of the batch. I picked this rock. You see here, it's a nice polish. It looks pretty interesting, but watch as we roll over to this side and check out some of those otherworldly features right there. And then look at this side here. Wow. I really like that a lot. As you can see, it took a great shine, and those orbs, oh my, those orbs, super cool, right? Yeah, otherwise it's just a plain chunk of chalcedony, or there's some banding there, I suppose. But what really puts this one over the top is that view right there. At least in my opinion, I think that is the best of the batch. Thank you all so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I know it was a little bit long, but I think it was worth it. Did you notice the shine looked any different on these rocks compared to my other rock tumbling videos? I'm not sure it's any better or worse, but it might be a little different because this is the first batch that I've used Ray Bright A as a final polish on, and I think it worked out pretty well. Ray Bright A, according to what I've learned on the internet, actually has a much finer grit than the 14,000 grit aluminum oxide polish I normally use. I think Ray Bright A is aluminum oxide, but it claims to be, at least according to the internet, something like 40,000 grit, something crazy like that. I can't really tell if this is any better. It does look really good though, that's for sure. That's a good strong reflection right there. Well, anyway, I will do some playing around with that and maybe make it my normal polish. We'll see. Once again, thank you all so much for watching. I appreciate it, and be sure and check my other videos for more like this. Thanks again.